On this installment of What They Don't Want You to Know About Money, I'm going to talk about the meaning of life. Now, having recently gone through a life and death situation, the meaning of life changes, and this is especially when it comes to how you view money. Because on the day you die, and no money goes with you, but money still has a huge impact on your life. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the importance of a life insurance policy, especially as we start considering going into the festive period when many people don't make it to the other side. Because when you're facing a life and death situation, firstly, if you were to die in hospital, there is the likelihood of hospital bills which you're going to leave behind for your loved ones to deal with. That's enough of a stress. Secondly, if you were to die, there's the cost of looking after your children and your financial dependents who would have depended on you for many years. Now, this is a specific reason why most people should have a life policy. And a simple calculation as to how much you need for a life policy is you calculate the amount of money that's required should you die today. So for example, if you have a child who is 5 years old, who has yet to start school, and you die today, it means that child is going to require 12 years of education at a minimum of 100,000 or 150,000 rand a year, which means that for the child's education alone, you're looking at an amount of almost 2 million rand. You can double that amount because for care, food, transport, works out to about that. So that's already 4 million rand. The child has to live somewhere. So you probably are going to leave your bond. So if your bond is unpaid, and let's say you have a 2 million rand bond already, that's an extra 2 million. So you're looking at 6 million. Never mind that. You also have to consider the welfare of your wife or your spouse or your partner. And that's another equivalent amount of maybe 2 million. So already on a family of one child, one adult, you're looking at a liability potentially on a middle class lifestyle of at least 8 million rand, which is why the family office recommends we start at 10 million rand, because we know that most people don't have one child. So once you have 2 children, double the amount. 4 million becomes 8. And the costs seem to escalate. Now, if you're one of our viewers from abroad, you can look at it from your world as well. If you're in the UK, it costs probably about 1,000, 2,000 pounds a month to look after a child and educate in a good education, maybe in a grammar school, not necessarily in a public school. But that's still 25,000 pounds a year just on education and transport, which you probably would need to double if you include accommodation. So you're looking at 50,000 a year. That's a lot of pounds. Multiply that by 10 years, that's 500,000 pounds, and 12 years of education looks at a nice tidy 600,000 on one child. So if you have 2-3 children in the UK, 600,000 times 3, you need 1.8 million pounds. Your house in London is probably worth about 300,000 pounds. Throw that in, you're now looking at 2.1 million pounds, or 2.1 million pounds cover, which you require just to leave your family. See, I'm still coughing because life and death can happen at any time. So that's the UK, that's South Africa. Multiply that, you can use the same example for the US or Australia in terms of understanding the meaning of life and death. Now, what also happens when you die is that your debts come to those who you leave behind. And that's like business debt, which means that you need to have a business assurance cover to protect your business and yourself. And also what I learned is that some people only see you for what you can give them. So you can only make them money. It's amazing how many people don't wish you well, or how many people are quite happy for you to disappear, but are quite interested in your money or their money with you. Be careful, because when you're in a life and death situation, you also start to realize those who've got your back, those who give you the benefit of the doubt in life, and those who simply write you off, happy for you to be dead as long as they get what they want. Life and death, that's the real reason why money matters. And that's one of the things that they don't want you to know about money, that you need to have your life policies in order. You need to look after your health, because your health and your wealth are tied together, and nothing is guaranteed in life. Today you can be here, tomorrow you can be a eulogy, or you can simply be an obituary somewhere in a corner. For all those who continue to support the family office, I thank you. And for all those who hadn't thought about life in this sense, I say get down to your financial planning professional, get in touch with me. Let's work out how much life cover you need, because literally you can be here today and gone tomorrow. That's one of the things that they don't want you to know about money.